welcome or welcome back to Beauty Bees. I'm Iris. Today we are filming an I Want Pan update. Now, this is my eyeshadow project pan for the year. I have 12 shadows that I have built a little palette out of, and these are all magnetic singles in here, or like things like ColourPop palettes where you can pop out the individual shades and use them as magnetic singles. Now, I am always working on 12. But when I hit pan, or when I just decide I'm sick of something, I feel like I've used it enough, I don't want to use it like 132 times or something to hit pan, I roll it out and bring something new in. So I have pan in 2 shadows this month to show you guys, and they are a very light shade and a very deep shade. So let's talk first about this one. This is Salted Caramel from Luxie. It's sort of a yellowy beige base, but then it has a really strong blue shift to it. On my eyes, I tend to see more of that blue shift than the yellowy base. It's really pretty. I have worked on quite a few of these really shifty Luxie shades in this project. They're relatively easy to hit pan on because I think you can sort of tell they aren't super hard pressed, and quite a bit comes up when you apply them. Like, I didn't even really rub my finger into that. I just kind of pressed and I got a good amount of shadow up. Isn't that pretty? So I used this, let me check. So this, like, I think every shadow that I've brought into this project was not new when I brought it in. I used it 11 times as part of this project in order to hit pan. And I'm always very, very happy to have pan in another shade. I've grabbed the wrong palette to try to put it back. No extra room in my actual 12 pan. Next, we have this Wet n Wild shade. This is actually repressed from their old, I think it was a 32 pan palette, 32 or 36 pan. They had this big palette. It was okay quality. I thought I would get more use out of the individual shades that I liked if I depotted and repressed into these magnetic singles and decluttered the majority of that palette. So that's what I did. This is a deep purple with some shimmer to it. It is, I would say, more like a satin finish. Not super pigmented, but you know, it works nicely to deepen up an outer corner or maybe apply as some like smoky eyeliner. It's a nice shade, nothing to write home about. I did not have to use this very many times to hit pan because it was pretty thin to begin with. I used this 5 times to hit pan. And I'm actually planning on decluttering this shade. I'm glad that I hit pan. That's great, but I'm never going to feel like I'm missing something if I get rid of this. I don't see myself in 6 months being like, where's that Wet n Wild purple? It would be perfect for the look I'm doing. That's not gonna happen. So this will be going, and I not only have now hit pan another shadow, I am moving my collection down by 1 eyeshadow just in time to film my inventory probably later today, hopefully. I have like 5 videos that I want to film today. I don't know if they're all gonna happen. Okay, so that covers the 2 shades that we'll be rolling out. Now let's look at my palette for the month. So I have 12 shades here. Let's quickly go through the 10 shades that have been in the project and how many times I have used them. So first up, we have White Sands from Luxie, which I have used 12 times. I'm wearing it as a brow bone highlight today. Luxie Limelight I have used 8 times supposedly. I think I've used it more because I've been using this as an inner corner highlight most days the past couple of weeks. And again, I'm wearing it today. I think it is very pretty. I've actually had this eye makeup on for a few hours, and I've been running some errands, so it's not exactly in perfect shape, but I think you can still pick up on a little bit of it. We have Luxie Glasswing, which I've only used 4 times. I don't think I used this month at all. I need to get a move on with that because it is really pretty, and I think I'm not super close to hitting pan, but it is that same formula as salted caramel where you use a lot of product every time you apply. They're also the type of shades that I tend to wear all over my lid, so that uses up more product as well. Okay, next we have this ColourPop Coral shade. I think that this is from, I think this is from the Cabana Club palette, or at least it is from my reorganized Cabana Club palette. I know that I've done quite a bit of rearranging over the years with my ColourPop palettes. I've used this 7 times that I have kept track of. This is a really pretty little crease shade, easy to wear, goes with warm looks, goes with cooler looks as like a little pop of something interesting but not too bold. I really like that shade. I've also often been mixing it with this shade from Viseart, which I have used 4 times. I think that number is wrong too, but whatever. We're gonna keep on moving. Next we have Luxie Skyflower, which I've used 6 times. Sydney Grace Bonfire. I'm wearing this in my brows today, as well as the little wing that I have. That is this shade. This is definitely my most used shade. I've used this 37 times this year, and most of those times have been in my eyebrows, so I've been using a little angled brush and not using a ton of shadow, but there's an idea of what using a brow product or a liner shade 37 times will get you. This next shade I've really only been keeping in because I like the idea of having a really deep matte in the palette. This is Simplicity from Sydney Grace, and even though this has been in since the very beginning of the project, I have used it all of 3 times. I don't use super dark eyeshadows very often, but I like the idea. Okay, next we have this blue from ColourPop. I have used this 3 times. Counting is hard. Luxie Dreamboat is this beautiful like blue purple. I have worn that only twice, but I just brought it in last month, so that's not too bad. And the 2 shades that I am bringing in are, well, the first one I believe is from Luxie. Let me double check though. Yes, this is the shade Maze for Days, and it is this pretty yellow. Let me give you a swatch. I think my finger was a little bit dirty. That didn't come out looking as clean and pretty as I expected it to. There it is. I don't know what I mixed it, but that made it kind of a pretty gold. Here is the true yellow though. I quite like this. I think it is very pretty. I think it'll transition really well from summer into fall, which seems so far in the future at this point, but I know is going to be here before I know it. The other shade is another one from the Wet n Wild palette, I believe. Double check. Yeah, no label means I'm pretty sure it's from that Wet n Wild palette. And this is like a deep teal. This has a little bit more of a shimmery finish to it than the purple did, but I intend to use it in a pretty similar way. Sort of a jewel toned emerald shade, maybe a little too blue to be a true emerald. It's really pretty. Let's call it a peacock green. It's really beautiful. I will use this probably as liner or maybe in my outer corner. Maybe I'll go really crazy and do like a teal smoky eye. That would probably be a lot for summer, but could be kind of cute. We'll have to see. Anyway, I think that about wraps things up. Here is one last look at the palette I will be using for the next month or so. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Please consider liking and subscribing if you did, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye guys.